Okay, it seems as though yeah, it's recording now. Okay, it's recording now.
Excellent.
Okay, good.
Okay, so who are in group 2? Who are in breakout room 2?
Good morning, this is Anna.
Good morning, Anna. Hola. Yeah, don't answer. I will just turn on the volume. Yeah, okay. So we have Anna and who else? Wait.
Lorna Holly.
Huh?
Lorna Holly.
Okay. Tony.
Kai Nelson.
Okay. Mr. Nielsen.
Good day, Kai Nelson.
Yeah, I remember you from the last time, and you gave an excellent capture of the group discussion in the notes.
I appreciate you.
I am going to ask you to do the same thing again today. Okay?
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, no, because I believe in these things. Those who are good at what they do should continue to be good and represent the group properly. Okay, so we have our task for the 30 minutes. So I suppose we can all start to have input. I suppose everybody who wants to contribute will have to unmute their mics. Those who don't mind sharing the video, since it's a smaller group, then the bandwidth shouldn't be any problem if they want to show the video at that point in time. Because from my understanding is the video takes up a lot of bandwidth when the group gets too large. So that's why they had asked us to take it off. But if you want to share the video now, I suppose we can do that. So, so Kai, you want to lead the discussion and have the input from others?
Okay, that'd be great. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kai Nilsson. I'm over here in St. Croix doing a lot of this work. So what I went ahead and did was took a picture of the breakout session questions. I think the first step is to touch on what type of co-op we would like to have based on our real business concepts that we're considering. So is there anyone that wants to kind of take a leap of faith and speak about a current business concept or idea that they have?
Okay, I have an idea.
Go ahead, Anna.
Producing aloe. Well,
producing
say,
aloe to make a gel?
Yeah, but let's don't do that. Let's scratch that.
Okay, so does anyone else have a good idea? How about you, Miss Lorna? Are you online?
Miss Holly?
Oh, no.
I have another, if you don't mind, if Miss Holly doesn't have one.
Okay.
Currently, I am selling coconuts, right? And I know a lot of businesses sell coconuts, right? My problem is I have a lot of coconuts. I would like to co-op with someone so that I get help in terms of my additional products. The coconut meat itself, I sell gallons of coconut water. So I would like to work with another group or somebody who could then produce the meat, use the meat, the coconut meat to produce other products, whether it be coconut oil or shredding, grating for making tarts, etc. A bakery told me that they need about 5 pounds per day of coconut, shredded coconut. So it's hard for me to keep up with shredding the coconut, you know, producing the filling the coconut, the bottles. And so, yeah, that's the business I'm thinking of.
That's a fantastic start. I appreciate you for going again. So, Mr. Morton, if you don't mind, I'll move on to the second bullet point as it relates to coconuts.
Go ahead.
Okay, so our next discussion has to be around the advantages of taking on what I would call to be the value add production associated with coconuts.
Thank you.
No worries.
That's the word.
The concept, so VAPG is an acronym used for that, and there's tons of grants locally available for it, so maybe that's something we should notate. Secondly, we would help to bring individuals and business entrepreneurs out of what we call the black market. So here on St. Croix, if you drive by Sunny Isles, there's tons of coconut water producers happening right there. And to your point with the 5 pounds, those guys don't even take the jelly out a lot of times. Sometimes they just cut the coconut out the water and throw the rest on the side. So you can talk about waste reduction there. So now I'm kind of spitballing these ideas, but it'd be great if of at least these 3 main concepts, right? Hey.
Okay. I have a point to make because I happen to know the shredded coconut is not from what you use to do the coconut water. The shredded coconut comes from dry coconut, the coconuts that are too old to give you the coconut water that people drink as a refreshing drink. Okay, so you actually have to have 2 sets of trees or 2 sets of harvesting. You have to intentionally allow the coconuts to go old and become hard and brown, and then you crack them open, and that is when you will get the dry coconut, which you can then use to either be shredded to provide the shredded coconut material to make tarts and put in dumpling and so forth, or to use that same old, the same hard meat to use to make coconut oil. So you will either need to divide your farm in 2, to 1 to produce the coconut water that people are drinking like that, and then 1 to have to do for the shredded coconut and the coconut oil. Everybody get that?
Yes, I agree. And the jelly nuts, which we use for to fill the gallon bottles, the jelly nuts can be juice to make some nice coconut milk.
Yes.
For cooking items and whatnot right then. There are the in-between before they get really dry, the hard nuts. They don't have much water, and some people prefer to have that white meat, right? So I have that also. So yes, an idea would be also, what else do we do with that meat? And yes, I do have the dry nuts, yes. Thank you.
So, okay, that's great. So make sure we're keeping track of that. So then the 3rd bullet point touches on the potential membership base and volume of product for the project. I think we definitely touched on that. Again, you have a lot of local guys who are out there cutting coconuts and doing that, so that's a great base. Does anyone else have an idea around who they think might be potential members of this co-op?
I feel as though we'll need to, the guys who, at least here on St. Thomas, the people who I see generally speaking selling the coconuts on the side of the road, it is mainly 3 of them. And I don't know any of them to have any coconut trees.
No, bring them in from Puerto Rico.
I don't know where they bring them from, but I know they don't have any coconut trees.
Miss,
So
sorry about that. Miss Anna, are you speaking from St. Thomas or St. Croix?
she came from St. Thomas.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah. So what we would have to do, to me, is to find people here who have coconuts on their property, who are not using them themselves, you know, and have excess, and see if we could invite them into the cooperative.
I agree.
Because if we're going to be setting up the cooperative and we have to be importing the stuff from Puerto Rico, then that is going to make it less profitable for us to sorry. That will make it less profitable for the cooperative. And so it might put the price out of reach, because in some stores you can already buy the shredded coconut that's imported as well. So if we were to attempt to do it, then the price for the our cooperative might be too high. So to me, we will have to try approach people like Anna and others. So Anna will end up most likely being she and her husband will end up most likely being the president of the organization, and we have to reach out to others in the St. Thomas community and the St. John community who may have coconut trees to join the cooperative.
Don't forget about St. Croix now, and Mr. Morton.
No. But the logistics of shipping the coconuts from St. Croix over here might be prohibitive, because that's the same reason when I say with the product from Puerto Rico. Because once you have that long distance shipping, the price most likely will go up tremendously.
Okay, I mean, we're 40 miles away, and I think if we're talking value add on a co-op level, and please anyone correct me if you think I'm wrong here, having assets on both islands would be greatly beneficial, right? So a co-op that's actually territorial should be, I think, the vision.
Well, based on what I know, that with the study that they did with EDA the other day, where they want to invest in a value-added, quote-unquote, factory. If that were to come into being, then our cooperative can supply, or as the one of the presentations when they made, that they were talking about being able like to rent it out for a day. So our cooperative might be able to go in and rent it for this particular day and do our harvesting of the product and preparing of the product. And then in that case, we'll have to get the product from either place. If the factory is on St. Croix, then we'll have to get the products from here together in time to go to St. Croix for it to be processed on the particular day that we plan to. So yes, there are producer grants and so forth, because I just sent out an announcement last week about funding for some aspects of value-added crops and so forth. So I think the larger the volume we can get of persons in the cooperative, or for people to supply to the cooperative, they will be the better for us.
Yeah.
Anna? I hope they had a power outage. Because we are down here at UVI, and luckily for us, we have a system which, if we go down, we just down for like a half a minute.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess that needs to be a part of our I want to say business plan. I'm trying to see where it fits in here. Organizational needs for the project. That's the last bullet point, team. And I think the reason why I'm going there now is because of the EDA commentary. Maybe we make a concerted effort to partner with the EDA, right? The EDA is looking to invest in this region right now, in this market in particular. Here's a viable product. Senators have spoken about it in the past. There's tons of value adds we can bring from coconuts. And then maybe we say, hey, we really need to work with the EDA to figure out transportation issues. There are boats that go back and forth. There are ferries. There are planes. Maybe there are ways to bridge these service gaps and needs that we have by working with local entities such as the EDA. What are our thoughts there?
Definitely, we'll have to work with the EDA because it wouldn't make no sense our cooperative going and investing in a factory if EDA is going to be building this factory that they spoke about last year.
Makes sense.
If that really comes into being, the whole idea of it is so that it will eliminate the extra expense of all these different individuals trying to set up their own little factory for doing the value added stuff. That is why they had the whole concept of renting out the facility for a particular day or half a day or so forth. So it will be kind of a universal kind of preparation for value added stuff. So we might be doing coconuts. Somebody else might want to do mango pulping or something. Okay, so that's my little input. I don't have any plans to form any cooperative or anything, but I expose myself to the education because I keep being open to it. It's a passion of Dr. Peterson. I know the benefit of it because in St. Kitts Nevis, where I am from, I have seen the cooperatives in action. I know even in terms of the fisheries and so forth, the government has the fisheries and they encourage. And at first it took them quite a while to get the fishermen to cooperate, but they eventually did. And so the fishermen really now just go out, fish, and not every one of them still, but a good bit of them take their fish to the fisheries where it is processed and packaged nicely and then get sent to the supermarkets. Some of them still insist on selling it from their own boat. So when they come in, they have to spend the next 2-3 hours trying to sell the fish 4 hours before the fish starts to spoil. Others prefer to just go with the whole boatload of fish, go up to the fisheries. They wait for a week or 2 to get their check, and they can go back out fishing, again. So it would be a matter of getting the persons here who have coconuts to join the cooperative, knowing that is what we'll be doing. Right. And all of the coconuts that person has would then be directed to the cooperative, and then the cooperative will see about doing the value added processing so that these products can be available to be sold, and each individual don't have to be worrying about bottling their own water or preparing their own shredded coconut. All our coconuts that are provided by different people in the community who belong to the cooperative or willing to sell to the cooperative will then be processed at the EDA processing plant.
So are you saying that our co-op would essentially have some kind of use or lease agreement with a formulated EDA site? And then I'm looking at the last bullet point, which says what are the financial needs and organizational needs. And I realize a lot of these young men and women, they don't really want to do the paperwork associated with running a business, right? So you might want to hire a CPA or something like that. But like that back office component seems to be the shortfall of a lot of industries here in the territory, not just our farmers or local producers. So with that being said, are we really just kind of providing the formal platform and then just offering people sort of like ad hoc, whether it be contracts or just, let's call them situationships with the co-op? Is that what you see?
Personally, I would hope that they would be investing. I don't know if we want to do it where the members of the cooperative just provide the products, or and they have an interest and a commitment in terms of finances in the cooperative as well, or they just join the cooperative and they just be supplying and getting paid for the stuff that they supply. You definitely will need some, you definitely will need some people who will be doing the processing, so you will have to hire staff to do the processing and so forth. And just like you say, a CPA and so forth, so that people can be paid promptly and that kind of thing, because those are some of the things that prevent people from sticking around in any group too long. And that's why traditionally, from what I hear, why the cooperatives in the Virgin Islands have failed, because so many times people join them, but then when they're thinking that they should be getting a certain level of financial reward, they're not getting it, so then they feel as though somebody robbing them, somebody thinks. So you definitely have to set up a good business structure. And just as they was pointed out in the different modules, where you have the meetings and the reports and so forth, so everybody will have an idea as to exactly what was involved in terms of the spending, how was it spent. And so then when the money is shared out, you know that you get your right share of money. And once that is done, I could see the cooperative really taking off. And most likely more people will want to join the cooperative.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I really long to see the day when we have successful cooperatives here. Because like I say, I have seen them in operation where I'm from. And we are around the same size. And here we have twice the number of people than what we have there. Mm-hmm. And we have access to more money here than there too. So I would like to see the cooperatives really taking hold.
Same.
Nicole,
I'm back.
And Nicole, you don't have any input, Tony? Lorna?
No, I'm learning. Thank you.
Lorna?
I'm sorry, I missed part of what you were saying.
The only input that I had was a couple steps back with regards to the value add. People don't only use them for food, they also use them locally for healthcare and body line products. Those would also be people that should be included when considering a co-op for that, for any fruit industry.
You left it outside the room. Yeah, you put this outside, so we found it. You have to put it in your bag.
That was a good idea, Nicole. Good input.
Yes, thank you, Nicole. So that means that we do need to get somebody who's making, those type of products, beauty products, because then maybe they might have use for the various types of product.
Yeah, there's a producer who actually uses the inside of the mango seed for her mango butter locally.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, Dale just stepped out of
Good
the
morning.
Good morning. I'm sitting in the room. Dale just stepped out of the room for a second. He'll be right back.
Yes. So, since we got cut off, right? And I'm just getting back on. We went over the potential membership. How well did we do? How well will the businesses fit into the local markets?
Yeah, I thought that in our discussion of onboarding the local entrepreneurs from the black, quote unquote, black market into the formal sector, that this would fit really well.
Okay.
And then with all the ideas and suggestions we have for the byproducts of the coconut, which we would call the value add production of those coconuts, like the skincare, drinks, cuisine items, bakery, coconut tart, so on and so forth, it would fit really well into the sector. Did you have any other ideas around that?
No, I was just going over the breakout session questions, and you're right, we did discuss that. And since I got cut off and came on late, I wasn't sure if we finished all of the last one. What are the financial and organizational needs for the project?
Yes, that's
Did you
a
all
great
discuss that?
one. Yes, man, that's a great one. I know, fine. We can again. There's no ceiling, right? We can come and continue to learn from each other. So as far as the financial and organizational needs, Mr. Morton brought in the EDA, and their interest in creating like a value add center, which would then lift the financial burden off of our co-op. So at that point, we might have to get into some kind of relationship with the EDA, whether that be leasing the equipment on some regular basis. So as far as that financial need, we would get into a relationship with the EDA. Now, as far as personnel, what does our co-op actually do? Are we just a formal platform where we handle all the back office paperwork of maintaining these economic and financial relationships with our community? And then are we just contracting that work out to the local people? So maybe they just come and drop off coconuts every week and we pay them, or do we include them in the processing of those coconuts? So that's a live discussion we could have right now.
That's very true.
You know, so
I wonder if we
yeah,
could see who are willing to, some of the producers might just want to drop off the produce, the raw coconut, and be paid for that. And then if we could find enough people who really want to do the added value products, then they would be responsible for processing.
yeah, I agree. I think we should keep it very fluid.
But those who are doing the processing will have to be paid. They would have to be paid workers. So they can be members of the cooperative, but they will also have to be paid.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Because they are going to be working. Because you have to look at a certain level of fairness, because you would want the cooperative to be seeking the products from everybody, and everybody who supplies the products does not have to be necessarily a member of the cooperative. But when they supply, could expect their money in a certain length of time, within 1 week or whatever, and they're happy with that. Those who want to be cooperative members and work in the actual cooperative, they will be paid as employees. Mm-hmm. But everybody who is a member of the cooperative, just as they keep saying, would be involved in all the meetings, all the reports, having the one vote and so forth, in any decisions that the corporation makes. I wouldn't care whether the cooperative is just into organizing and harvesting all the coconuts that we can get from everybody on the island, you know, who is willing to do it, and you do all your different value added products to sell to the market.
That's a good
Nicole?
question.
Anybody else has anything?
I have a question, a new question. So do you think we need two co-ops working together in this? Maybe the growers as one and getting all the growers to bring the coconuts, and then producers or added value co-op, and they'll have members who are willing to just take the different coconuts, and then they do the hiring. They're in charge of doing the hiring of people and producing the added value products.
One cooperative with both sets of people.
Yeah,
Okay.
agree. You definitely don't want to split that up. You have one, it's a great idea. You kind of want to keep everything structured under one. And we're not even taking full advantage of the co-op structure at this point, what we've discussed, I would say.
Okay.
Speak up, speak up.
And then one of the people would be marketing. One person could be in charge of marketing. Another person may be in charge of people who would like to find the people who would like to join in this particular business. Those would be the paid workers from who are working with the co-op.
You know, I think that's a great idea, but I also think we should lean on our relationship with the EDA. Just because there aren't any businesses like this, they might want to use us as their poster child. So we might be able to utilize all their internal marketing and mechanisms to host our product.
So, quick question, since we run out of time. For the EDA, do you have to first be denied by a bank? So would we have to go to the banks first and then get denied and then go to the EDA?
Well, I think it's interesting because that does exist, Ms. Francis.
Yeah.
But for this one we're talking about, and according to Mr. Morton, if I'm not wrong, they are going to create a value add production site on their own.
Okay.
Right. So
that is my understanding.
Yes, I do know they're creating a couple of clean kitchens. So at that point, we're saying, hey, we don't, as a co-op, we would like to lease and utilize that space. And here's what we want to do. And by us using this space, by virtue, you can use us as your marketing, because they need to say, hey, this is a successful business, right? That's what the EDA needs to say.
Yes.
And at that point, we say, hey, this is great. This is what we're doing. So I think this is actually really good. I'd actually like to discuss this in more detail with you afterwards. So I'll definitely leave my number in the chat, and feel free to talk offline, and maybe this is something we could actually cook up.
I would like to see something like that really happen.
Okay, so I'm putting my number in the chat now.
Yeah. Whether it is coconut, whether it is mangoes, to me, you know, when I went to the presentation at the end of the survey, because we were involved in getting some of the information and so forth. And when I went to the presentation, I said, well, you know, it will have to get people organized for somebody to bring this stuff to the boutique factory. It's going to, the breakout room is going to close in about a minute. So Kai, you ready to, you got enough information to present?
Yeah, sure. I'm definitely going to lean on the team, especially as it comes to the different products that could come from the coconut. I'll definitely be asking our team to step up and speak on what they know in that area for sure.
Okay.
Tyson box is good. And it's wet. It's good. Put look like that. Yeah.
Okay, we'll do boxing afterwards.
I
Okay?
got you.
Let me put my
Do it like that. No.
Yeah, we're going to be leaving the breakout room in 6 seconds.
Speaking to me. You sound great, but I can't hear anything you're saying.
Oh, I was going to say to you, that was so rude.
I know, right? I can't count. That's what it is too. I kept starting over. And it's like,
Vanessa,
Thank you. You
Vanessa.
gave us more than enough time, and and thank you
Yes.
for the countdown, so we were able to wrap up with your countdown. So
Right.
thank you. You did a good job.
okay,
Yes,
we're
it's a
not
tricky
recording right now,
conversation.
We're not?
but let me know when to start again. I paused it.
Okay, we can begin right now.
Okay.
Okay. Well, welcome back to the general session, everyone. And if you had a good time like we did, and I'm sure you did, you had a grand time networking with your colleagues, your group members, and brainstorming about the responses to the questions. So with 15 minutes to go, we're gonna give each of our groups 5 minutes to report. And I know we had groups 1, 2, 3, but I'm not sure if you know what your number is. So let me just say, I know that Ms. Johnson is in one of those groups and she has been a reporter so far. So we'll ask her to do the same if she still is the reporter right now. Is that okay with you, Cecile?
I'm good. I took the notes.
Very good, very good.
So you want us to start?
Yes, please do.
Okay,
I have a
great.
question.
Group 3.
1 second. Dara, should I stop my recording or are you recording? I don't know. I think mine is still recording.
So everyone who was recording, it's probably continuing to record now, but you can stop it so that we can just have the breakout sessions in small chunks. If you want to stop it and then start a new recording, you can, but it is recording here.